Hello friends, welcome back. Welcome to my second tutorial on Excel VBA, and today I'm going to show you how you can use Excel VBA for doing mathematical operations in a worksheet. So here we have a data set of a class of 10 students and their obtained marks in English, history and maths. So we are going to get the total marks of each of the students. We could do it using some function, but today we'll use Excel VBA for doing it. So we are going to go to this developer tab and then insert a command button here on the worksheet, right? And behind the command button we'll write some code. Okay, so double click on the command button and that will open this Visual Basic editor window. I explained it earlier. So we're going to write our code. Let us write a simple code here. I have already written it somewhere in the clipboard. I am just pasting it here now. So I've written cells 25 is equal to cells 22 plus cells 23 plus cells 24. What does it mean? Let's go back to the worksheet. So you see, I've also put the column numbers here. This is column 1, this is 2, 3, 4 and 5 because while using Excel VBA we address the cells with their row number and their column number, that is with row index and column index. I explained in my last video. So cells 25 means this cell, cells 25 is equal to what? Will be equal to summation of the values in these cells, that is in cells 22, cells 2, 3 and cells 2, 4. That is exactly what we have written in the code. That cells 2, 5 is equal to cells 2, 2 plus cells 2, 3 plus cells 2, 4. So let us exit from this editor window and turn this design mode off and then click this command button and let's see what it does. So it has summed up the marks obtained by this student in English, history and maths. Okay, but it has not filled in the other cells. So in order to fill the other cells, what you'll have to do is you'll have to write the similar code for each of the cells. So I have already written it in the notepad and I'm going to copy it to the editor window, right? Paste it here. So I've written it for all the other lines. This was for second row, this is for third row, fourth row, fifth to 11th row, because our last data set or the record is in the 11th row. Okay, so just go into the step into the next line of code, cells 3, 5. That means cells 3, 5 means this one will be equal to cells 3, 2 plus cells 3, 3 plus cells 3, 4. Let's see what we have written here. Cells 3, 2 plus cells 3, 3 plus cells 3, 4. Similarly, we have written for other cells. Okay, let's close the editor window again, turn the design mode off and then click this command button now and it should fill in all the other cells with the summed up value of all these three subjects for each of the students. Okay, this is one way of doing it, but this is not definitely a smart way of doing it. I mean, luckily here you have only 10 students, but if you had like 200 students in this class, in that case the way I have shown it here now, you'll have to write, you know, up to cells 201, I mean row number 201, and you'll have to do it several times, I mean many times. That is not a very wise way to do it, and in fact programming language never uses this type of, you know, programming development, so or coding. So what we can do is we have other means of doing this. Let me show you how you can do it. I'm going to insert another command button here, okay, so that you can see the difference. And in this command button I'm going to write a very few lines of course. Instead of writing up to 201, I'm going to copy this thing. I've already written it for you. Just in order to save time, I'm copying it from the notepad to the Visual Basic editor and I'm going to paste it against the command button too. Okay, I'll explain it later on. Just let me demonstrate first, okay, and then I'll explain. So let us delete all these things, and instead of clicking the command button 1 for testing purpose, let us do it with command button 2. So I'm going to click on this, and that should do the same task as well, but only with a few lines of codes here. See, here you have only 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4 lines, and here you have 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 10 lines of codes here. Okay, so that is a smart way of doing it. Now, what this segment of program is doing, let me explain you. Okay. Forget about this first, I'll explain it later on. So I have used a loop which is called for next. So this is a typical structure of for next loop. We call it a loop. Okay, and what we are saying, we are telling Excel that for I is equal to 2 to 11. Why 2 and why 11? Let's go back to the worksheet. Your data starts from row number 2 and data ends at row number 11. That is why we put a start value for this loop at row number 2 and the end value at row number 11. And then we are saying cells I5, okay? Cells I5 is equal to cells I2 plus cells I3 plus cells I4, and then go to next. So what this is going to do, let me explain you step by step. So I'm going to go to this notepad, and there I'll explain it for you. Okay, so when this loop starts, what will happen? First of all, it will pick up a value of I is equal to 2, and then it will go to the next line of code, right? And then it will say cells I is 2, so it will write 2, 5 is equal to cells 2, 2 plus cells 2, 3 plus cells 2, 4. Okay, that means cells 2, 5, the value in the cells 2, 5 will be equal to cells 2, 2 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, with the first value of I, that is I equal to 2, and after that it will go to the next I value. After that it will go to the next I value, and in that case it will pick up a value of 3. Okay, after 2 it will pick up a value of 3, and when it will pick up a value of 3, it will calculate cells 3, 5. Okay, this line of code, it will calculate cells 3, 5 is equal to cells 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3 and 3, 4, and then it will pick up next I value. After it is done with this line of code, it will pick up the next I value, and then what will be the value of I? The value of I will be equal to 4, and then it will write cells 3, 5. It will replace the value of I in this line of code, and it will write, or it will calculate cells 4, 5 as equal to cells 4, 2, then 4, 3 and then 4, 4. Okay, this way it will pick up all the next values until it reaches the end value, that is 11. Okay, and once it reaches the I value equal to 11, it is done with the job. It will not do anything further. That is the use of this for next loop, and by simply using this for next loop, and in fact writing only one line of code here, you can get the same result, and you can replace all these 10 lines of codes. Okay, and you must have noticed that I have written something in the beginning or in the start of the program, that is dim I as integer. Okay, this I is a variable, so whenever you use a variable in your program, like in this program segment there was no variable, okay, all these were clear numbers. But whenever you use a variable I, j, k, l, m, or your name, my name, any name, okay, anything other than the numbers, those variables have to be declared that I am going to use this variable. And in this case we are using a variable called I, which will be varying, like this one. For I will be equal to 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, and so on and so forth. And this I variable is a type is a data type of integer. I'll explain this why I have written integer type in my next lecture, okay. But for now, you just remember that you'll have to declare this I as integer for this particular problem. For other problems, you may have to define or declare this variable as something else, okay. I'll show you in detail when I'll talk about variable types of or declaration of the variable types in my future lectures. So we have learned two things together, that you can write without any variable and without any for next loop. You can write your codes and get the result. That is one way of doing it, but that is definitely not a smart way of doing it. But if you want to get things done quickly, writing less line of codes and with less errors, it is always better to use for next loop. And let me show you something else. The design mode is turned on, so we can click our cursor on this one and right button, go to the properties window, and in the properties window you can change the caption of the command button. Let us write total score, okay. So that will be simultaneously displayed on your command button, okay. And you should be able to resize this command button, okay, make it smaller. That looks good, that is okay. You don't need that big command button here, and you can do many other things. I'll show you how to change other properties of command buttons in my future lectures. So this is a perfect example, I believe, of how you can use Excel VBA for doing your mathematical operation in an Excel worksheet. Let us do something else. I mean, we will do what can we do? We can obtain the percentage of marks, okay. So we will obtain percentage of marks in this column, okay. And that is of course column number 6. It is very important to know the column number, because while assigning the cells you will have to know where you want to, in which column you want to get your results. So we are going to calculate percentage now, and for that we'll insert another tab, okay, another tab, and in the tab we'll have to write something, okay. So what we can do is, let us copy it from this command button, this with this for next loop. We'll copy it and close this and click on the command button 3 and click it, paste it here. So what we are going to do now is we are going to get the percentage in column number 6. Row numbers are still the same from 2 to 11. And what do you want? You want percentage. So you will, let us delete all these things. So cells I5 divided by 300 times, where is times? Right. Oh my god. Times 100. Okay. So cells I5 divided by 300 times 100. So that should give you percentage. And with the same logic, it is using for next loop. So with the variable I is equal to 2 to 11, this will actually run you through the rows. Okay. So when you put a comma, inverted comma in front of any text in the Visual Basic editor, that will be regarded as a comment. This is not part of the code. Okay. So it is like a statement, and that will be always highlighted with a green color. So let us run this program now. Turn the design mode off, and this is column 6. If everything is written correctly, that should work, and that should give you percentage. Let's see. Yep. So you have got the percentage of marks in column number 6 just by a click of a button. Okay. And similarly, you can change the property of this button and change the caption, write percentage. Okay. And you can resize it by dragging and put it anywhere. That looks good. And if you want to format the decimal points, you can do it from here. 2 decimal points and center it. And if you want to make it bigger, of course you would like to make it bigger and consistent with the other data, that looks good. So the calculation is done by the percentage command button, and formatting you have done manually. You could also do the formatting using Excel VBA. I'll show you later on in my future lectures. I hope you found it useful. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching this.